Protein is like the new religion, but is it actually necessary for a woman over 40, or is there a lot of hype around protein? We're going to get into it in today's episode, so grab your coffee. Let's go.
I got to go get mine.
You got to grab the coffee.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome in, you guys, another episode of Candidly with Coffee. We're going to talk about the protein because I love protein. We're all about it, but we're going to just get into what's important, what's too much, what's the hype, because it's annoying because it's gotten a little crazy.
You hear too much about it, and it does get old after a while. I think people get sick of it. Protein, this, protein, that.
Yeah, but before we get into it, I do want to share a couple of episodes ago, we talked about kind of our separation from Transcend and HRT Peptides. They were the company we were getting it from, and that we were going to be going through a new company called Vitabella. And I just had my full experience with Vitabella, so I wanted to share it. I haven't been over the top like promoting the company yet because I wanted to really go through the experience. And you guys, it's like night and day. Like if you've dealt with, the other company, which I'm not even going to mention anymore. So we're going to just move on from that experience. But if you've dealt with other companies, the experience at Vitabella is insane. How long ago did you have your doctor's appointment? Tuesday,
yes.
Right? We just got a delivery notification. Mike's medications are at the doorstep.
Before noon.
It's Thursday.
The turnaround time was 2 days.
2 days.
Actually, less than 48 hours.
Later.
If we were clocking it by hours. Because my consult was at 2 p.m. and my tracking showed it got there like at 12 something. So less than 48 hours.
So basically, let me just kind of break it down. It's membership style. So you become a member and you pay a membership fee, but the membership fee includes either your testosterone prescription or B12 if you're not on testosterone. So it already includes that, and the cost of testosterone is like the price of the membership. So it's not really like you're paying a membership fee if you need your testosterone anyway. So anyways, once you're a member, and that includes your doctor's visits, by the way, and blood work is from $89 to $189, depending on what you're testing. And once you're a member, you get your doctor's visits. It's very easy. It's just like any other medical, like your general practitioner. You have a portal, you book your appointments, you talk to your doctor, and then you get your medications. And guess what? It's wholesale prices. The medications are wholesale because they're like a Costco brand model, right? Like a Costco model where because you pay a membership fee, you get the products cheaper.
Yeah. The other company, man, from the calculations we did, they were marked up like 10x at least.
I'm blown away. I feel so slighted because I just thought, people don't know the cost of these things.
They don't.
So they think like, this is just a very expensive thing. Like, no, they're just gouging.
They were gouging.
Other companies are gouging.
Bad.
And by the way, you have to get a prescription. You have to qualify for the medications that you want. It's not a store where you could just go and pick anything you want, because that's scary. That's dangerous. This is not gray market peptides. These are licensed pharmacies from, you're speaking to a doctor. By the way, no salespeople. You talk to your doctor about your peptides. You're not talking to a salesperson about your peptides. And then the doctor visit is just a formality. That's not what Vitabella is. It's either a nurse practitioner or a doctor, and you get your prescriptions, and it's all legit, licensed. And I can't even believe how easy that process was. You sign up, you do your intake, you get your blood work. A couple days later, by the way, our blood work was in.
Yes.
Once your blood work's in, schedule an appointment, medication at your doorstep. The whole process is days, not weeks. It's insane to me, the difference. And then, of course, the price. I couldn't believe it.
The price makes you just want to go be like a kid in a candy store.
I was just going to say that.
For sure. And what's crazy is how fast it got it compared to the other company.
I'm just saying. And listen, we don't get paid for this. This is not sponsored. We're patients. We're patients of the company.
Yes.
And we referred so many people to that other company we were working with. I implore you to think about it. head over to vitabella.com. If you do sign up with them, it would be nice if you mentioned our name, that you came from us. But again, this is not sponsored. We do not receive commission off your medications or anything like that.
No.
But we are going to be maybe potentially doing some partnering with them on some content. Because listen, when we find something that we love, we shout it to the rooftops. And the previous company we did love. We had a good experience initially, but unfortunately, they took a turn and things changed. But we're very excited to be working with this company. And now that I've been through the process, I'm ready to shout it to the rooftops.
Yeah, we're not gatekeepers, man. We're gate sharers.
I was optimistic, after our meeting with him and everything. But what I keep saying, I got to go through it. Because everyone can say, oh, it's quick, it's this, it's easy, no sales. I want to see it, though. Proof is in the pudding. Let me go through the process. And I'm blown away.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I'm really excited because I'm back on my GHKCU, my NAD+. So I'm excited to, because I ran out of GHKCU. And I still truly believe in peptides. And I feel like it really helped my skin and my hair. But now I haven't had it for a couple of months. So I'm excited about that. I've got, I'm all topped off on all my HRT. And, how I feel. I already do all the things, you guys. I live the lifestyle. I live the life. I exercise. I sleep. I drink water. I just got my blood work done, by the way, and I'm so excited. I feel healthy. I feel so good at 50 years old. My cholesterol is 166.
Is it crazy? Like, you're 50 years old, right? You know you're 50 years old. Do you feel like you're 50 years old?
No.
Me neither. 51. I know I'm 51, but I don't feel like it. And I look at other people our age and I'm like, ooh.
No, but I feel better than I did 10 years ago.
That's true.
I truly do. Like how I feel. I don't feel like I'm decrepit and falling apart. Like, oh, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I think what's getting old in me is just my desires and stuff like that. I like people more chill. I like, my interests have changed with age.
Yeah.
But not I feel stronger than ever. I've never been better at working out than I am right now. I feel strong.
You're more in tune with yourself. And you've opened up your mind, because back in the day you'd complain, say, I'm not really a fan of working. I just do it to do it. Well, now you've changed that thought process. Like, you know what?
I want to be good.
I want to be good at this. I want to get strong. I want to show my ladies, like, look, this is how you train. You can get strong, because you're going to need strength as you get older.
Yeah. So I feel my technique in the gym has improved.
Yeah.
Because I decided to improve it.
That's it.
That's all it took. It just took the turn the key.
That's what people don't realize, is you just got to make a decision. Make a decision and take action and go through with it.
Yep.
And it's okay if you're not so good at first. You're going to get better. It's going to take practice. It's going to take repetition. It's going to get to know how to use this machine. Like, you learn how to use your arms and legs. It learns how to move the movement.
Like,
in the correct pattern.
Feel when something's not right, when I'm not. Like, even the other day, I was doing a tricep movement and I just didn't feel right about it. And I said, hey, can you look at this? Like, what do I need to tweak? And you gave me the tiniest little thing, and boom, engage my tricep. So it's just being in tune. It's not just going through the motions. It's learning the craft.
The craft,
because it's like a craft.
You're sculpting your body. I just learned something new. I'm back, a different craft, how to really hit your upper back correctly. I thought I've been doing it right all these years. Like, it took 51 years to realize.
What? What's the difference?
Back. Elbow positioning.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of the bar being so close to your inner, where you're targeting more lats, this dude goes lighter and flares their elbows up, so it hits the upper back
on
more.
a row?
Trapezius, on a row, even on the machine with the handles, even on the bent over, he says you flare their elbows out, because you're really trying to target the upper back. A lot of times we miss that mark.
What do you call it? My Christmas tree?
The Christmas tree. You target the upper back. Because a lot of times we think like traps are like part of the shoulder. No, they're not. Traps are part of your back. Trapezius.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's part of your back.
Yes. People don't get that. So it's like, okay. It's kind of like face pulls.
Yeah.
The elbows are flared out and you pull.
Sometimes the littlest tweaks. It is nice to either record yourself or go with a buddy, a workout partner, and kind of say, hey, can you look at my form, my technique?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have clients send me a video just to kind of.
Yeah. Even me on deadlifts, I've been more mindful of engaging my hips. So what I do when I'm down there about to go down, you have to drop the hips and then you pull up. Because if not, you turn into a Romanian deadlift. Now you're pulling with your back, which a lot of people do. That's okay, but you don't want to go as heavy on a real traditional deadlift versus a Romanian deadlift.
Yeah.
Weight got to change.
It's crazy.
Little tweaks.
Little tweaks. You don't want to overdevelop the wrong muscle.
No, you don't.
A lot of
Or
people,
hurt yourself.
women will kind of progress too quickly in the wide lat pull down, and then they will develop their traps
Because
instead of their
elbows.
lats. Yeah, your
Elbow
elbows got to be
position.
out, and you have to really kind of like you engage it, like you feel it. You have to feel it. And sometimes it takes someone to tap it for you, touch it.
Yeah.
Like to feel it's that mind muscle connection. But anyways, speaking of lifting weights and gaining muscle, in order to gain muscle, you have to lift weights, progressive overload, and eat protein.
Yes.
So let's talk about the protein hype and what's hype, what's not, what's going on in the market. So basically what has happened because of the food pyramid shifted is the processed food market is capitalizing on it.
Of course they are. Here they come with their dollar signs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh, we see what the social media influencers and trainers and coaches are talking about.
Yeah.
And the pyramid shifts. Now we got to hop on board.
Yeah. Everything now is claiming it's high protein or protein tortillas, protein bagels, protein this, protein that.
Yes.
And, and we're going to get into protein, but before we even do, we're going to give you one tip that'll save you from wasting money on things thinking that this is how you're going to get your protein in. It's the protein test. If you just do the protein test, if it doesn't pass, it's not a high protein item, no matter what the packaging says. So what you do is you grab the package and you look on the package, you look how much protein does this have per serving, okay? And if it says it has 15 grams per serving, then you look up how many calories per serving is that. You add a 0 to the protein. So, for example, 15 grams, add a 0, 150. Look at the calories. Does it have 150 calories or less per serving? If it does, it passes the protein test.
Facts.
Go ahead and purchase it. If it does not, which in most cases it does not, then it is not a high protein food. And you will consume a lot of calories to get even a decent amount of protein out of it. And then you're going to overconsume calories. So that's the protein test. For example, our favorite Bear Bells protein bar has 20 grams of protein. Add a 0, that's 200. The protein bar is 200 calories.
Yep.
Passes the test. We just got a delicious protein pretzel at Costco. It's called Crisp Power Protein Pretzels. It has 110 calories per serving and 15 grams of protein. Does it pass the protein test?
100%.
100%, because it has less than 150 calories because it's got 15 grams of protein. Add a 0, 150. Calories per serving is only 110. That's actually really good.
I like to call it return on investment.
Yeah. You get a good amount of a good amount of protein on that investment. The investment is the calories that you're...
We recently got the Chipotle chicken. So Costco's been cutting up their chicken that they use for their little chicken tacos, having extra. But they got smart. Instead of just selling their extra packages, they caught wind like, ooh, there's a demand for
went
this.
viral. Yeah.
So now there's a demand for this. Now we bought 3 of them yesterday. One went to your cousin. And we looked. The macros were a little different. It's 160 calories per serving. 26 grams of protein, though. Out of 0, bang for your buck. The best.
260, and it has only 160 calories.
Yes.
So major return on investment. That is
Yes.
a high protein food.
High.
So if it passes the protein test, it will help you reach your protein goal without going over on calories. I'm not saying not to eat things that have that don't pass the protein test, but that's not going to be your main source of protein. It could help the total content for the protein meal. You know what I mean? It could help to make so that the whole meal passes the protein test. Because I like to make sure, I like to think of does the whole meal pass the protein test or does it help? You know what I mean? Like when you're adding things with protein. But with the marketing people, because see, here's the problem. I used to be able to tell my clients, some clients, like if they didn't want to track or something, I'm like, listen, if you just target protein and you go for the gold, go for 130 grams of protein, you're going to be so full, you're not going to overeat calories if you do that. That doesn't work anymore. That statement no longer works because if that person goes out and gets a bunch of processed foods that equal 130 grams of protein,
they're going to go over on the calories.
Chances are those processed foods
100%.
did not pass the protein test.
Yes.
You're going to go way over on your calories.
Yep.
And the satiety factor is not there with processed foods.
Facts.
So when I talk about how protein has that satiety factor, it does help a little bit in processed foods, but really, we're talking about whole foods. So like if you have 6 ounces of chicken, you're going to be full.
Even me as a man, I'm
stuffed.
You're going to be extra stuffed.
Yeah.
True.
So that kind of nullifies that too. So some of the rules and things I used to say around protein no longer apply because of this whole food pyramid thing that changed the way, now protein is like popular because of where it lands on the food pyramid.
Yes.
Now, how much protein do you actually need? Now, I have to egg on my face a little bit here because I've realized that sometimes people overcorrect. And I used to kind of say, listen, have as much protein as you want, like go over. And you can. And it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing to go over on protein. But inadvertently, what I realized I was causing is some of my clients to undereat their carbs because they're like, oh, cool, I'm just going to eat 170 grams of protein. But then that doesn't leave enough calories left for adequate carbs. Usually they're fine on the fats because fats are they're easy to meet your minimum because fats are calorie dense.
Yep.
But don't you find that if people overshoot their protein,
100%.
then
see the men do
wait
that.
a minute,
They
your
go,
carbs are low.
I see guys do that. It's like, bro, your LBM is probably like 180 pounds, 170 pounds. And you're over there 220, 230 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Now looking at your chart, your carbs are a little lower. Why? You need carbs.
Yeah, you need carbs.
For some reason, that's never talked about.
Yeah.
Carbs are like the enemy, the devil. People always blame their weight gain on carbs.
Yeah.
No, bro. No, ma'am. You overate. That's the problem with your weight gain. Don't blame the carbs.
Yeah, you need the carbs.
You need them.
So
they're just as important.
Now you can overshoot your protein though, but just not at the expense of your carbs. Not because you're avoiding carbs. But let's talk about what you actually need. Listen, it kind of bothers me that people, for one, who the hell knows about kilograms unless you're out of the country? So why do they give you 2.2 kilograms of lean body mass is how much protein? Who the hell knows what their kilograms of lean body mass is?
Confusing. They don't.
It's confusing, okay?
1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds.
I know,
but who does
so
that? We don't
who
work in
does that?
kilograms. We
So
work in pounds here.
It's annoying.
It is.
And then, to be honest, the average midlife woman's not walking around knowing exactly what their lean body mass is either.
No.
So again, annoying because it's not a practical way to know how much protein to eat. I think the most practical way is 1 gram per pound of your goal body weight.
Yes, that's a good one.
Because it's easy. Like, okay, I want to, because then you're for sure going to meet the minimum. Because say I want to weigh 120 pounds, 120 grams of protein is sufficient. If you're 120, because if you're 120 pounds, your lean mass is less than that. So you're getting more than 1 gram per pound of lean mass if you do it that way.
Exactly.
So you're meeting it without having to grab the calculator or Google or whatever. 1 gram per pound of your goal body weight is sufficient, but you could go more. So like right now, I'm 112 pounds, but I try to eat 120 grams of protein.
Yeah.
But that's not overshooting. I'm not going for 150 because then my carbs are going to suffer.
Yep.
So that's what I target. But the other question, and this is another important thing since we're talking about protein, is if you go for that and you're getting a good amount, so like if you get 1 gram per pound of your goal body weight, it could be 80% of that could be whey, like a complete protein. And the rest, you could do like 1 serving of collagen and you're good there. But no more than 1 serving of your protein should be coming from collagen. No more than like 15 grams or so should be coming from collagen protein, or you're not getting the benefits of muscle gains because collagen protein is not used for muscle protein synthesis. And sometimes people think, oh, I'm hitting my protein goal, but they're getting it in collagen protein. Like they're getting 30 to 40 grams of collagen protein, meaning they're only ending up with like 60 to 70 of a complete protein. That's not enough to grow your lean muscle. So don't make that mistake. It's okay for, I would say, like 15 grams of your goal, of your protein goal to be collagen. Collagen is going to be good for hair, skin, nails, connective tissue, but it's not going to be for gaining muscle.
Funny you say that. I used to do that in my coffee a long time ago, the collagen protein. And then you told me like, oh, that's not a complete protein. Like, ooh, so I switched over to complete protein instead.
Yeah, so it's not going to help you with muscle protein synthesis.
Yes.
But if you're getting enough for that, then it's okay to supplement with a good collagen, protein. It's not going to be some like magic freaking, It's not magic in a bottle. You're not going to have this long, luscious locks because you put a scoop of collagen in your coffee every morning, though. Do I feel like long-term benefits of collagen there? Yeah, sure. It give you a little edge. Just like any supplement, a little edge.
Little edge.
Little edge. I think people give too much sauce on supplements, though.
Way too much.
They think it's like magical. I mean, not even peptides are magical.
No. I like what this doctor said on the podcast, on our friend's podcast, Mindput Media. And she said, TRT, HRT is like bullets. Peptides are like BBs. They do aid. But at the end of the day, they're still BBs. But all roads always point back to nutrition.
That's gonna be your lowest hanging fruit. I like to say that. Yeah. Yeah. So, and also let's talk about protein. Another benefit of protein, though, I have to say, is protein has the highest thermic effect. So when you hit your protein goal, not only is it going to help you with your satiety, it's also going to help with it's going to create more calorie burn because it takes the body more energy in order to digest protein.
Yeah.
So it also aids that way. That's why a high protein diet, if you're trying to lose, let give you an example. If you're trying to lose weight, you're just specifically focused on calories, right? And if you eat a 1,200 calorie high protein diet versus a 1,200 calorie mostly carbs and fats, then your high protein diet you're going to lose weight faster because it's going to yield you a bigger calorie deficit because of that thermic effect of the protein. So this is when people have that argument like calories in, calories out. Not every calorie is the same. It really is, but it just depends on what where the calorie comes from. A calorie from protein is going to take more energy to burn than a calorie from carbs.
True.
But it's minimal. Don't let anybody convince you that it's going to be like, oh my God, you're like a furnace for burning calories. And we're talking about the difference between, 30 calories a day. You guys, a couple slices of gum.
Yeah.
I mean, people, again, because they take a nugget and they like run with it like it's such a big deal.
They do.
That's
funny.
So it's not like it makes that big a difference. But when you start like adding up all the little things that you do together cumulatively, they'll make a big difference. You know?
Adds up. Everything compounds.
But we need to, I do, for the most part, think that unless you're tracking protein grams, especially as a woman, you're more than likely under eating protein. And that's what's contributing to your metabolism slowing down because you're losing lean muscle if you are not eating enough protein because you're starving your muscle. Your muscle needs protein to survive. So that's contributing to more weight gain and your perception that you're eating the same but you're gaining weight year over year. Well, it's because you're sarcopenia. You're losing muscle. If you're not strength training, you're not eating enough protein. So you're not imagining that. It's true. A lot of clients come to me in that situation. So what do we have to do for them? We got to get them to eat more protein. We got to get them to put muscle back on. We got to strength train, get them to eat more protein, get them to eat more calories because you're not going to be able to gain the muscle back without enough calories that are coming from protein. So that's kind of like what I do with a lot of my clients.
And you got to play the long game.
Yeah, you do because it takes time.
The long game, not short. That's not overnight. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see crazy ass results in a month.
Yeah, no. And people...
Or 2 or 3. It takes a long time. It might take a year to see some results.
a year. To see good results, like significant change.
Strength change, yeah.
Like look at even what we did. Like we were already kind of fit people.
Yeah.
But we still went through... It's been how long? We started that process in July.
Yep.
What has that been? Like 9 months?
Yes.
9 months. Yeah. Did we have a significant change after 9 months? Yeah. But think of where we started from. We already started from a decent place.
We did.
So imagine someone starting from the place of needing to lose 50 pounds, a year. Like I tell everybody.
Minimum.
I tell Alyssa, when you talk to clients, like be realistic with the timeline. Because the last thing I want to do is giving them unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
For most people, it's a year.
Yeah.
It's a year to get solid with your habits. It's a year to learn things, how your body's going to respond. It's a year to transform. It's a year to lock in. A year.
Yeah, remember that message you got? We both laughed. Somebody said they needed 70 pounds to lose.
Yeah, and by June.
By July or some shit.
Yeah, and she got mad when I told her that it was going to take that it was probably going to take at least a year.
At least, minimum.
At least a year. And she's like, well, I am very disciplined.
Okay. If you're very disciplined, then how did
you gain the 70 pounds to begin with? I don't know.
Hello.
Anyways. All right, you guys. We'll see you in the next one.